I think I might be more excited about this watch arriving almost more than any other watch I've ordered recently. Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. And recently I just released my full in-depth review of the Erebus Origin. A really nice, solid, well put together, well thought out dive watch. A tool watch that was actually affordable, and I really enjoyed owning it, except for it just didn't find a really good spot or a really good place within my own personal collection. I found that I had other dive watches that I tended to reach for before I went for the Erebus, which is why when this new Erebus Ascent model came out, I sort of had a little bit of trepidation about it. I sort of thought, well, I'm going to want to support Jody and Stephen with this next release. However, I'm only going to buy it if I actually really like it. Whereas the Origin, I sort of knew I was going to buy it whether I liked it or disliked it. As it turned out, that was a great watch, but I wasn't going to be 100% buying this second release watch unless it was a watch that I wanted, unless it was a watch that was going to fit well into my collection. And as soon as I started seeing pictures of it, as soon as I saw the review that Jody did, and then the couple of other reviews that have been released, I knew that I wanted to buy it. And looking at my collection, I knew that it would find a really good place within my collection. So I'm assuming it's pretty likely that you know of the Erebus watch brand, or at least you know of Jody and his YouTube channel, Just One More Watch. And if you're going to be watching this video, you're probably already aware of this release of this particular watch. But I just really wanted to jump onto the website and go through this watch and try to summarize everything about this watch into one quick video. I don't have any hands-on experience with this watch, so this is not a review. This is me just looking through their website, giving you a quick summary, and then identifying which one I end up purchasing for myself. Now, one of the greatest things about this watch and the previous Origin is the options with dials, because this particular one has so many options. You can get a blue, black or white enamel dial. You can get this sort of a helix pattern in both black, blue, green and purple. There's this really interesting malachite dial, which has this sort of green look to it. And then there's these fume dials in purple, green and orange. Now, depending on which one you pick, they do vary in price, ranging from about 535 Australian dollars through to 619 Australian dollars. And there's two types of bracelets you can choose. There's the O style, which I'm assuming is a cheeky way of saying oyster style. And then there's the J style, which again, a bit of a cheeky way of saying a Jubilee style watch bracelet. And of course, this watch being sold as a garter watch, a sort of a dressy watch that can be worn all the time. Of course, then it has some great set of dimensions because the watch case is 39, the lug to lug is a really compact 44.2, 20mm lug width, which is going to be great for strap changes out if you don't want to wear it on one of those bracelets, and it's only 11mm tall, and that is because it is powered by the Miyota 9015 high beat movement. And I love these high beat Miyota movements, so I think it's a great choice by Stephen and Jody putting it in this particular watch. And of course, knowing what Jody is like, he's ensured that he's had 2 years warranty placed on these watches, which is great to see because I know he always complains if there's not at least 2 years warranty. And if you're going to be buying one of these, you can also choose some strap packs, having a few different strap options and even some merchandise like a t-shirt or a hat. So what one have I actually purchased for myself? Which one did I order? Well, it was actually a really bit of a hard decision because I really liked the orange fume dial. I considered the malachite, and then I sort of really looked at the white and the black enamel dials. That black enamel dial looks absolutely amazing, but then I thought that white also looks really lovely, and I don't really have a white dial in my collection at the moment. But it was the helix that really grabbed my attention, and it surprised me somewhat because that helix pattern looks a lot like a Grand Seiko, a particular pattern that is used on some of the Grand Seiko models. In fact, some people have been nicknaming this the Grand Jody or possibly the Grand Stephen because of that particular pattern. But for some reason on the Grand Seikos, that pattern doesn't grab my attention. But on these Erebus watches, it really grabs my attention. Then the only problem I then had was picking either the blue or the black. I then did end up going with the black, and I picked the J style bracelet. And just for good measure, I also ordered one of the hats. I'm honestly so excited about this particular watch, and I can't wait for it to arrive. I believe they are scheduling it in for September, but if it's anything like their first watch, they'll end up closing out the orders and getting it in early and hopefully ending up on my doorstep earlier. And as soon as it does, I'm going to start making some content about it. And I'm sure it's going to be rather positive content because I think the watch looks great, and I tend to be rather positive about watches anyway. And it really does excite me to see what the future holds for Erebus watches. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe check these videos out next.